Boo! Did I get you? I'm gonna assume that I got you. Gotcha. Hey guys, James here. Not a duck. I hope I didn't scare you too much. I didn't know how to start the episode, so I came up here and I just kind of walked back into this and I disappeared. So I figured, hey, I'll make him jump. Sure. So anyway, with the ice officially broken, let's go inside, and here we are in the TARDIS once again. Today we have two jobs. The first job is going to be sorting out our system to get out of the TARDIS. It will involve slime blocks. It will involve precise redstone timing. So hopefully this server plays nice with that. The other thing is that in here we have a hallway. And at the end here we have a diversion. We have two turns that we can take. This one currently has nothing on the other side of it. This one, however, has a door. And if we go through, then you'll see that I have a quite lovely little area in here, similar to the storage room in terms of aesthetic, just with some, whatchamacallit, some deep slate bricks as well. And then if we head down these stairs, you'll see that we've got this little corridor area here, with a door there, and a door there. Does this one work? No, I haven't done that one yet. This one works. I've got it open with a redstone block. In this room, I haven't really dug it out yet, but in this room is going to be where our mushroom stem farm is going to go. In this one, I don't know, maybe another farm, maybe some more farms when we extend this down. I'm not too sure. I'm kind of just going with the flow. I don't want all the farms to be in one specific place, because the idea with this base is that it's going to be chaotic and all over the place. But also, importantly, this place isn't going to have directions. I'm going to have to remember all of this, because the pilot of a TARDIS should know where everything in the TARDIS is, really. But we are going to do the exiting of the TARDIS first, so we're going to come back to here later on to do that. So, the door. The plan is we will hit this button and then things will happen here to shoot us up and out of there. The difficult part is, however, that while yes, simple slime block launcher should be able to shoot us up, it will not be able to shoot us all the way up, because this is, I think, about 10 blocks from here to where we need to get to below the item frames, and a slime block will not push us up 10 blocks. If you don't know, then standing on a slime block that's being pushed by a piston upwards only launches you about 6.5 blocks up, and clearly that is less than 10, thus that is not enough blocks. So, but that is easily rectified, right? Because you have a slime block that pushes you up, and then you have a well-timed second bunch of slime blocks that come out from the wall, and then they push you up even further, and then that should get us to the top of this. However, the second issue is that I didn't want to take full damage when entering the TARDIS, and because that's not good. It takes you out of it a little bit. So we have carpets here with powdered snow underneath. We need the carpet, otherwise you will fall straight through the powdered snow when you come in. Why is that an issue? Because if I get can I get a torch? All right, that'll do. You still can't really see the block, but it means that to push slime blocks up from underneath this, we need to move the powdered snow out of the way. But if we move the powdered snow out of the way and not the carpet, then it doesn't work. So we need to move the carpet too. However, we can't just pull the carpet that way because there is a wall block here. So what we need to do is we need to retract these wall blocks out that way, then move the carpet and the powdered snow outwards, but they also need to go 2 blocks outwards so that when the slime blocks come up to launch us up, the slime blocks don't grab the powdered snow or the carpets. Because then they'll be in the wrong place and it will break everything and it will not work properly. So yes, that is the plan. Just to recap quickly, we pull these walls that way, we pull these outwards, we pull the slime blocks up, we launch up, then more slime blocks around about there in the wall will come out, launch us up even further, and then out we go at the top. It should take us just about to the top of this perfectly. And I say that it will do it perfectly because I have already built it in a creative world. I didn't want to build this from scratch in survival because I'm not a redstoner, so bear with me. And also, it's not exactly small. There might be more compact ways of doing this, but to be honest, because everything had very specific timings, I needed repeaters and what do I call it? Comparator, extension, pulse extender, circuits. Yep, that. And also needed like some space for double piston extenders, but they had to be done in a specific way so that they didn't interfere with the other things around them, so like observers and stuff. But because of the very specific order in which all of this needs to be done, we've got all of this, and we've got like this to make 2 pulses, for this to extend and retract it. It's a whole thing, but it works is the point. But yes, when it comes to using this, obviously this will be the way that we walk in, we will fall down, perfect, and when we leave, I won't do it because I want it to be a surprise, right? But I will press it so you can see how much is going on. Perfect, and everything is back in the place where it should be. If I press it again, you'll just see what needs to happen here. It is a little bit loud. I apologize for that. But I do know how much of everything that I need. I might need to get some more redstone dust after making all of the components and observers and stuff. But for now, let's get back onto the server and build this thing. I'm actually really nervous about putting any blocks down because I really don't want this thing to not work, you know? And like, I don't want to build it wrong. And if it doesn't work, then I'm going to assume it's because I built it wrong. And if it's just because of the server, then I want this to be really quick. Because this shouldn't take too long to put together, really. Considering that I've already built the entire thing in a creative world. But I really hope it doesn't take too long, you know? But it could easily take quite a lot longer. But I really hope it doesn't, you know? Because I want to get on with the mushroom stem farm so that I can get this video done and edited and out to you guys pronto. Small issue though, in what I built in the creative world, this redstone from this button goes this way, but we can't put it there because we have this area. I should be able to move it in theory. Hopefully it doesn't get in the way of the other stuff and the pistons and whatnot that's going to be here as well. Okay, so for the first part of this, the walls moving out of the way so that we can take the carpets out of the way, we need to power these pistons like so, and this one too with some dust there. So if we just take the redstone signal off of this bit here and we go repeater, and then we want redstone dust all over here, and our 4 comparators there, and there, that should be that bit done, and those pistons now fully functional. Let's give it a try. Wonderful. Okay, I didn't think they were gonna re-extend for a second there. That was weird. It's just because of how long that takes to power down. I forgot how long it actually is, so I was very confused. So anyway, moving on to the next bit. Cool. And the double piston extenders for the powdered snow are now done. I was worried for a second because it wasn't quite working, but I realized I forgot to add this little bit here to extend the pulse to those observers very slightly, and now I believe it should be working. Press this. Perfect. Yes, takes them out of the way enough so that we can put the slime block up as well. I've currently got this locked with a lever there just so that we don't have to worry about that while we're testing it, in case something else messes up and interferes with that as well. Because if for whatever reason these fire when they're not supposed to and these haven't retracted, then it could push the wall that was here into the carpet, or this might pull the carpet back, or anything like that. But if I turn that off, wait for those to extend, and then press this, and in theory, hopefully... Perfect. Oh, just missed it. No, it's perfect. That's good timing. So these won't interact at all. This won't interact with these blocks, and this shouldn't interact with the piece of wall that is going to go here. In fact, if I just put these back in here for demonstrative purposes, and we can see they all miss each other just perfectly indeed. Awesome. Okay, so I had to move the pulse extender for these pistons over to this side because this piston with the slime block goes there, and it was too close to the redstone for my liking. So it's now over there, and then this is the redstone for the slime block piston. Fingers crossed. Wonderful. Beautiful. Oh, okay, good. I'm glad. That couldn't have been much better timed. Amazingly, that is now the first step done. Now there's just the secondary launcher to do. So just to quickly show you how far we actually go from the first slime block launcher, if I press this and we walk forward, bam. I mean, we hit our head on there. One sec. Let me try that again. Bam, bam, bam. We go. Oh. Okay, yeah. We go about just over halfway. Obviously, the idea is not to fall back down into there because you can pretty easily get stuck in the snow blocks when it closes up. But now this is all working and the timings seem fine. I am slightly concerned about getting the timings with the second one to work with this one, because obviously it needs to come out the wall at the right time to not crush us, but also we don't want to miss it. But this bit's gone completely fine, so I'm optimistic to say the least. Cautiously. Definitely cautiously optimistic. Yeah. Obviously the other slightly complicated part is that it's not just slime blocks we have to worry about. We need to worry about the bits of wall that we need to move out of the way to get this to work. Which means that we need to come up around here like I have with all of this redstone and this kind of circuit again, like we've got down here, with the observer to go into the pistons with a little pulse extender like we have here, although it's a little bit longer this time, and this one will generate 2 pulses as well, which we don't actually have for that one down below because we didn't need it there, but we do here. So I'll just show you this side. This all does that business, and while that retracts that at the same time. And then while that's retracted, the slime blocks will come out of that wall there and shoot us up. And that's the same thing added on the other side. And on this side we only need one piston here because the other block there is going to be immovable anyway, because we only have one piston pushing inwards with the slime blocks, because the slime blocks will pull the other pistons that they need with them. If that makes sense. You'll see what I mean in a minute anyway. Don't worry. Woohoo! Okay, so I kind of got into the flow of it a little bit, and I finished it up. So I can't remember what I showed you guys last. But so yeah, we have these double piston extenders here. Showed you those, and then what also happens last is after it moves the wall out the way of that, the signal from this one comes out the back here because it's the easiest one that I could get to. Comes up here. First of all, comes here, extends these two pistons, and then this redstone line comes all the way around here, just jumps like between these two bits very, very carefully, over here and under here. Thankfully, sea lanterns are transparent, so that's fine. Comes here, powers this block, which is where this piston gets pushed to, goes up, rockets you up for the second time, comes back down, retracts, everything closes up afterwards. I got very lucky when designing this that this bit of redstone line gets to fit through here just about. It's well clear of this, but it needs to be out of the way of this because there's this redstone here and all sorts. Luckily I managed to block it with this block, and then as I said, the redstone can just, like, you know, quickly sneak under there, and luckily doesn't seem to be powering anything like from this line to this line or vice versa. It all seems like it's isolated properly. I did have it finished and then realized that I had two issues. Oops. That is also an issue. I didn't mean to click that. I actually just forgot to connect this redstone, like all of this, to this bit, which was kind of funny. It took me a minute to realize what was happening. And then up here, these pistons weren't retracting properly. I realized it was just because I forgot this repeater. It was just redstone dust. And I was standing here like, it seems like it needs slightly more delay here. And then I looked at it and went, oh. That's not, like, I looked at my reference picture from the creative world. I went, what's different? Oh, yeah, that'll do it. Put that in, fixed it. Luckily, this server does not seem to be struggling with the redstone timings at all. On a previous world, I had a pretty simple 3x3 door, and it didn't like it. It didn't really work at all. So I had to improvise, but I was afraid, because I haven't built anything particularly big since then, and I was afraid that it was going to have a similar issue with the timings. And if I press this, you see all. I'm gonna turn down the volume, and then I can try that again. If we press this, then there we go. That's better. And we see that opens. It's very quick, but you can see this all gets pulled away. The slime blocks come up, and then after the slime blocks come up, these pistons have pulled the walls that aren't there yet out of the way, and then this comes out, pushes you up. So we will see if I push this now and then just come and stand here. Out we come. Perfectly. Oh, I'm so happy about this. But yeah, then I'll put the walls in quickly now, and it will look all the better too. Okay, so the walls are in. When I press the button and the pistons move, you do technically see through to the kind of inside of the contraption a little bit. I've patched it up here and mostly here. But I'm out of black concrete, so I'm gonna go get some more in a bit and try to cover up as much of it down under there as I can. But for now, I'm gonna show you guys it. So first, yeah, you can see underneath it all, but up there it's not too bad. You see this bit's Y before. That side had only one double piston extender because we only need one piston to come through on this side. So this one can be obsidian because of the slime blocks. So we only need to remove one piece of wall on that side, even though it's two on that side. Yeah. Anyway, time to press the button and show you guys the finished contraption. Bam. We walk forward. We just look forward. We don't look down, and out we come. If you look down, it kind of ruins the effect a little bit because you see the slime blocks pushing you up, and you see the other slime blocks coming out and also pushing you up. But if we just walk out, boom. Out of the TARDIS we come. Oh, it's working. I'm so happy about it. Oh, that's so much better. I'm pleased. I'm very, very pleased. But yeah, I need to cover up the kind of inside of the contraption that you can see through. But I am calling this thing finished. We now have a full way to get in and out of our TARDIS. Oh, look at it. It's flawless. Oh, it's wonderful. If you ignore the fact that you can see the slime block a little bit about to come out the wall, then it's fine, but like, you know, this kind of thing isn't going to be completely flawless. It's not going to be exactly how we want it to be, because it's not. This isn't Doctor Who, this is Minecraft, and considering this is vanilla Minecraft, I think that we've done a pretty good job here, and I love it. So with the slime block contraption for exiting the TARDIS done, we are very quickly going to whip up our mushroom stem farm in here now. Luckily this farm is a lot less involved and a lot less complicated than the slime block launcher and what the rest of this episode has all been about. I don't fully know how I want this room to be set up. There is likely going to be another door in here somewhere to go to another area, but I think I'm just going to have to put this down so that we can get the farm working, and then I might have to move it at some point if need be. So I think for now, if I just put it like here, I'm probably going to move it back, maybe somewhere, maybe just rotate it a different way. But to be honest, I just want to get the farm done to show you guys, and then I can move it if need be, if I decide that I want it to be somewhere else later. So in terms of the actual growing of these giant mushrooms to get the mushroom stem blocks, I mentioned in a previous episode that we will be using red mushrooms rather than brown mushrooms just because they are easier to deal with in a farm setup such as this. I have filled this dispenser with bone meal, and obviously I will get a chest of bone meal to feed it in with a hopper so that we can use it for longer periods of time without having to worry about restocking this dispenser. And obviously we only want this thing to be running while we're using it, right? Otherwise the sound of the dispenser activating is just going to get annoying. So I have a pressure plate that will activate this piston so that these observers will constantly trigger each other and cause this dispenser to trigger. Luckily, of course, it doesn't actually use up any bone meal if there's nothing there to bone meal. So me standing here to show you guys this doesn't really affect much yet. But I stand off of that because that is noisy. What will happen while I'm standing here is I will place a mushroom like so. The bone meal will grow it. It will only grow to a certain height because this is here. Now the important thing to remember is that if there is a block here, then the mushroom will not grow. And this will be the very top of the mushroom. With it will be the red mushroom block, not the mushroom stem. So what will happen when the giant mushroom grows is that we want this block appearing to trigger the mechanism that will pull this block up and then... Oh, wait a second. Right, yes, sorry about that. It was way too low down and they weren't in like the right Y level compared to each other. This normal piston was one block too low compared to the sticky piston, but it's fine now. So yes, what will happen is this will grow. The top of the giant mushroom will go there. This will trigger the redstone mechanism that we are about to build, which will cause it to be pulled up by that sticky piston, and this piston will push it across, which when we place the next one will then allow it to grow a new one. At the same time that that is happening, these pistons here will be the ones pushing the mushroom stems across in this direction so that we can group them up into a big old block and mine them all after a period of using this farm. The only other two things that we need apart from like redstone line and redstone repeaters is a target block there, because we need to power this block to power this piston. But most blocks, if we put that here, will just be replaced with a red mushroom block as soon as we grow this, but a target block will not, surprisingly. And then here, right next to this piston, anywhere really, but we're going to put it here because it is easier and more convenient for me. Next, we're going to place an observer here to be able to detect when the mushroom grows so that we can trigger this and trigger these. So, I've done it. That should all be fine now. If I quickly walk you guys through this, what will happen is when it grows, a stem block will go in front of that observer, which will trigger everything, which will come through here. This block with the sticky piston underneath will send a very quick one-tick pulse through it, because we want this to be nice and quick and efficient. So the signal will come down here, which will power all of these pistons here to push them across. And it will also come up here, which will momentarily deactivate this piston, pulling that up, and also activate this piston, push the red mushroom block across, which means that while we're accruing a bunch of mushroom stems, we will actually be gathering a very small amount of red mushroom blocks that we will have to clear as well. So it is kind of a farm for that too, just a really small and inefficient one. But anyway, I am hoping that this is working now. So if I just place a mushroom there, actually wait, first before we do that, I will place a block here and we can just see what's actually happening to make sure that it's all running all right. So if I click, perfect, as you see, all of these pushed across, that one pulled up and that one pushed across, and now it is back to how it was before. And again, oh hey wait, sorry. Okay, these two aren't triggering yet because there aren't mushroom blocks here for that redstone dust to power, so bear that in mind. But when I place this down and we grow an actual giant mushroom, that will mean that these two get powered just fine as well. So fingers crossed, there we go, perfect, it did it. Alright, cool, don't get much better than that. And now as we can see, it will grow two more, and then that will get pushed across. And if we take out quickly these 3 blocks, then it shouldn't be replacing the mushroom stem with more of those. Let's give it a try. Sometimes it takes a while. There we go. And it's not replacing the mushroom stems at all, which is brilliant. So now that's working completely fine. Now we just need a giant wall of pistons here to push all of these across so that we get it, so that we end up with a giant block of mushroom stems. And then we are done. So I am going to quickly do that now. Okay, so I've done it, and this is what we have. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys though. Mistakes have been made. Because optimally, these can push the mushroom stem blocks 13 blocks, I think it is, this way. But there's a wall here, and I know what you're saying. You could just remove the wall, but we can't because this is here. So I did say earlier I might have to move it or rotate it or something. I might do that once I figure out what I want the room to look like in terms of aesthetic, because it's not just going to be stone, obviously. We want it to look pretty, maybe on theme with kind of mushroom kind of vibe. I don't know what that means, but it's something I will try and figure out, don't you worry. I don't know, I want it to feel alien, I guess. Anyway, yeah, I might move it, I might not. Because to be honest with you, there's a chance that I just won't be bothered enough to move it, because we can still use it. It's just that we have to mine it more often, and that's not really a problem. So, you know, we'll just have to see. Anyway, it's done. So these mushroom stems will get pushed across. When it gets to here, this will power the block, which will power this, which will unpower all of these redstone torches, which will set off all of these pistons. If I just show you really quick, if I just bam, everything gets activated. Nice and easy. Awesome. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use this until it runs out, or better yet, until I run out of mushrooms. But to be honest, actually I'm not sure which one's going to happen first. I think because of how short this gap is, because of this wall, I think I'm going to run out of space before I run out of mushrooms. But I'm going to do this and I'll give you the stats. I'm going to tell you how many of these we use and how much bone meal has gone out of this and how much we get out of it at the end. Here we go. Okay, so I've done with that. It turns out the entire stack of mushrooms went just before this got to the end. If I duck underneath. It just started the last row before it completely filled up the system. And it ran okay. It did keep on stopping a few times. I've discovered a very slight issue. After it pushes one lot of stem, you place down the next mushroom. And sometimes, more often than I would like, to be honest, the bone meal instantly grows the next one, which means that it grows in front of the observer before the observer has a chance to finish reacting to the last one, which means it doesn't react to the new one, which means the mushroom stem stay here in front of the observer and doesn't get pushed across unless I interfere manually and break that block there in front of the observer's face. I tried to remedy it slightly by taking a second signal off of here as well to temporarily disable the dispenser with this, but it doesn't quite do it early enough. It still has time to dispense 1 or 2 bone meal before it shuts off. But the issue is, if I do this delay any shorter, then the length of the observer pulse means that these don't get activated at the same time, which means that these go through and do a double pulse. But it needs to extend the pulse, otherwise it doesn't work properly. And if I use comparators to make a pulse extender, I feel like it might be too long, but that would just make it less efficient. However, it would still work, and I'd be able to go through a whole stack of mushrooms here to fill this up without needing to interfere with it. With that all in mind, though, I can now tell you that that whole thing gave us 4 and a tiny little bit stacks of mushroom stem, which isn't too bad, considering I don't have to do a lot for it now. And it used just over 8.5 stacks of bone meal, which also isn't too bad considering that I have plenty here and easy access to a public skeleton farm. So all in all, when really the only time we're going to need to be using mushroom stem in even like slightly large quantities is for the roofs for these style of corridor, and I don't know how often we're going to need to use those anyway. So I'm not too fussed about the inefficiencies with this design that we have here, which is why I might, as I said, I might use a comparator pulse extender even if it is slightly too long, because that should be able to fix the issue fine. Also, in terms of replenishing our red mushroom supply so that we can keep planting them, I might build a red mushroom farm, because they are fully automatic and fairly easy to build, even if doing it on a large scale is kind of tedious and long. and a long process to build. But to be honest, we might be okay with just replenishing our own supplies with this. Although as I'm mining this, I think that I am in fact wrong, because I just placed like 10 blocks and got 4 mushrooms out of it. So never mind. Yeah, okay, never mind. That method is not viable at all. Half a stack of mushroom blocks just got us 10 red mushrooms. So I will have to build maybe just a small red mushroom farm, which shouldn't be too difficult. We can put it like maybe just like in this room as well, and then maybe hop a chain into like a chest here that I can just pick up from whenever I'm going to use this, because like I said, it only takes like a stack or so to fill this up, so I only really need a stack at a time in my hand. I don't need to worry about replenishing my the mushrooms in my hand as I go. But again, not a perfect farm, not super efficient because of the space and because of whatever other timings and stuff, but I think it's a success. It serves the purpose that we need. It's going to give us the mushroom stem blocks that we need, because we don't really need a lot of them, so it's fine. I'm going to stop rambling now and finish the video. Okay. Oh, and yeah, I'll decorate this and make the room look pretty off camera at some point after this episode, and maybe even not next episode. I'll show you in an episode when it's done, and you know, I'll keep you updated on that. But anyway, we're going to finish the episode here at our door, because I love this door, I really have to say. I love it so much. We are going to finish the episode by walking out of the door, because it is just that good. And I'll turn down the volume of the blocks for you guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Please do leave a like and feel free to subscribe, and I will see you next time on the Dogcraft server for more building of our TARDIS. Bye. See you guys. Bye.